Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. A few weeks ago we got back from a multi-week tour down in North Africa in Morocco, and it got me thinking since we got back about camping stoves, what I've used over the years and the advantages, disadvantages of those. But I think it's a little bit more than that, because in front of you now you can see three almost classic stoves: the Jetboil on the left, the Transier in the middle, and the MSR multi-fuel on the right. What's interesting is that depending on what type of tour you're going on or what type of moto camper you are, some stoves may be better suited to your needs than others. So what we're going to do is look at each one in turn, quickly discuss them, and then actually I'm going to show you why I don't use any of these anymore and the sort of hybrid setup that I've built over the years. So let's take a look at the Jetboil. This is the lightweight version. If anybody's interested in camping and wants to keep the weight down, then this is your stove without a shadow of a doubt. So let's have a look. Let's take this apart. So the beauty of the Jetboil is, obviously you've got a non-stick surface on the inside of the pot itself. The fins on the bottom are what make it boil so quickly, so it's very, very efficient, which goes back to only perhaps requiring a smaller amount of gas because it is super efficient. It does come with a igniter button. Now this is a very old version. I don't actually think my igniter works anymore, but it's lasted many years. And obviously because it is gas, then obviously you've got the beauty of ultimate control in the flame itself, so you can have it on full tilt or just simmering away nicely. Obviously if you want to carry this in its most compact form with its gas carried inside the main vessel, then you can only carry 100-gram canister with you. Now let me put that in perspective. A 100-gram canister for me lasts me 4 days on the road. I guess the disadvantage of the Jetboil is that other than boiling water for freeze-dried type food, you can't really do a lot else with it. Now I know there are multiple Jetboil pots out there now that are laid to heat and cook food, but I'm talking about this one that is its biggest advantage being it's lightweight and compact. If you're going to go further afield and require more gas, then obviously the compactability of it all fitting into one pot and the weight saving you get from it is obviously slightly diminished then, because you're going to have to carry extra gas canisters. And remember, only the 100-gram canister will fit into the pot. So to me it's pointless taking this Jetboil with a 300-gram canister. If it doesn't fit in it, then the whole weight saving and space saving of this stove becomes pretty much null and void. Okay, now we're going to move on to the Transier. Now there's a couple of, I think there's 3 different sizes in the Transier range. I can't remember what exactly they're called. I'll put that on the bottom. But this is the middle one. So this is designed really, I suppose, for upwards of 2 people. But I've used this as a solo rider over the years, and it's probably my most used camping stove. Old school Transier.
Never in a rush with a Transier.
You're never in a rush with a Transier. Now the Transier itself is ideally designed to be run on methylated spirits. In Germany that's Brennstoff, or here you see on the right here, what I've got here is bioethanol. It works particularly well on that. But you do obviously need a fuel bottle with it. So that's where, as well as the stove itself, you do need somewhere to store your fuel bottle. It doesn't have to be one of these 1 litre ones. You could have a smaller one, although I've found that typically for me, this 1 litre bottle that you can see on the left here lasts me 15 days in the field, and then I need to get it replenished. With the Transier all opened out, you can see you're getting quite a lot with it. You've got the stove itself, you've got a kettle, which I love, a plate or a frying pan, depending on what you want to use it for, and a couple of pots. Its real strength for me was when I purchased this here. I personally ran with it using this, which is the gas adapter I got for it. not too expensive, and then I found it was the best of both worlds. The thing I do like about it though, when you're using the original bioethanol or whatever fuel to cook your dinner with, it's completely silent. And in terms of reliability, the little burning pot that you put the bioethanol in, or whatever you're using, is pretty much indestructible. So this is really a jack of all trades. Comes with a slight, I would say, takes up a little bit more space in your luggage, but in terms of flexibility, you can cook full-on meals with this. You know, you could use one pot for boiling rice, one pot for, I don't know, vegetables. The frying pan itself here, you could be frying eggs in it, meat in it, whatever you wanted. So you can, and you've got the kettle as well, all in one compact. So I'd say, if you weren't sure what to go for, I'd probably say the Transier is your best bet. But like I say, it does come with not so much a weight penalty, but more of a space penalty because of the size of it. And of course, don't forget, is you're going to have to carry either this fuel with you, or of course you can run this with the gas canister, and this is a 225 gram, I think, and I get typically 8 days out of one of these. Okay, and the third one we're going to look at is the MSR Whisperlight, which is a multi-fuel stove, and you can use white gas or petroleum kerosene. So that is really why I got this stove. Essentially, I use unleaded fuel, which is its biggest advantage. So if you're ever in a position where you haven't got fuel for this stove, then I would suggest, if you're watching this as a motorcyclist, you have much bigger problems, because it means your petrol tank is dry. So it takes away all the anxiety of running out of gas, running out of bioethanol and things like that. And they have happened to me. I have been in countries where I've run out of a particular fuel canister, whatever, and I've had to go out of my way, and it took me a considerable amount of time to find a place that stocks those canisters or that type of fuel to run the other stoves. With this, you're never going to have that problem because there's always petrol available. Obviously, what this stove doesn't include with it is any kind of pans, frying pans, nothing. So you have to consider that as well if you intend to use it. But it does give you the advantage of, obviously, you can take whatever you want, and perhaps even find pots and pans that the stove can fit into. But that I wouldn't recommend, because it is very, very dirty. I mean, once you've finished using this, then you need to clean it thoroughly. It does smell of petrol, to the point where I had to store it in a separate bag, on an external bag, because I was concerned with cross-contamination of the smell on my clothes, my kit, my sleeping bag. So I actually had a separate bag just for this stove. Obviously, you also need a fuel bottle. They come in various sizes depending on what you require. I would suggest getting a small one, because you don't need to carry a 1 litre one with you. But of course you could, and that could also be a reserve fuel for your motorcycle as well, and that's again another advantage of this type of stove. Okay, now at the start of the video I did promise you I'd show you my hybrid stove, if you like. So let's take a look at it. And for me, this is the perfect balance of utility versus weight and storage. So what I did is I went out and I got this, which is the Primus 1 litre pot, which is also hard anodized, so it's like a non-stick surface in it. You can get a slightly cheaper version, which is purely aluminium. It comes with 2 of these handles, and you notice the lid though is also a little mini frying pan. In that, I use the MSR Pocket Rocket 2, which I put in its case, and then I can also fit a 225 milliliter gas canister all in there, and a lighter. So effectively inside that pot I've got the ability to obviously boil food. Like I said, the majority of my food is freeze dried, but I've also got this little bonus of a frying pan, which we've used for like onions and things like that, or fried egg in the morning. You could even chop a bit of meat up in there and fry it up. So it gives you a little bit more versatility, but with very little cost on weight, and certainly about the same amount of space that you're going to get from a Jetboil. Clearly it's not as efficient as burning as a Jetboil, because The MSR Pocket Rocket obviously loses a bit of heat out the sides. It hasn't got the vents on the bottom of the pot. So yeah, I'll take that as a given. But to me, this is the perfect balance of still a small ability to cook fresh, a big nice 1 litre pot for getting my water done, my brews and any other freeze-dried meals, and extremely compact and lightweight. You want to travel super lightweight, not bothered about only eating freeze-dried food and having hot water, boom, your Jetboil is the one for you. If you sort of want to cook still fresh food, not too bothered about speed of cooking, or alternatively happy to carry the gas canisters with you and the gas adapter, the Transier is the most flexible system in my opinion. Third but certainly not least, you're going on a multi-week, multi-month global expedition. You need to use petrol, and the MSR Whisperlight or petrol type stove is, in my advice, the one to go for. For me, I'll stick with my in-betweeny for now, and that covers most of the things I want to do. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and keep riding.